Well, it worked in the movie.
Well, it ain't working now.
You mean the movie live?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Trick or Treaters. I'm Billy.
I'm Eddie, and today, Return of the Living Dead.
Brains.
Yes, this movie is where the whole zombies eat brains comes from. I grew up with this film. Billy here just sat down and watched it for the first time. What did you think? I want to get your thoughts as a first-time viewer.
That was such an entertaining film from the 80s style. The way they did the zombies and the way they gave you like what would have traditionally worked to kill zombies, and then completely flip it on its head. I love that, and it was so much fun.
The whole bit about the movie live comes from a bit in the movie where they go to destroy the zombie's brain, and it's like, well, it worked in the movie because they even referenced the original Night of the Living Dead. It's a gag. They said it actually happened, all that. And it's like, well, it worked in the movie. Well, it ain't working now. You mean the movie live?
Trash is taking her clothes off again.
Oh. But yes.
And Bert and Ernie.
Yes, Bert and Ernie. Oh my God.
Go to Bert and Ernie if you need to survive zombies. Go. He said go to the south side of Sesame Street.
South side of Sesame Street.
Oh, this, and just the menu that we're looking at right here, they did such a great job.
Oh, amazing. The art. I mean, the artwork, even the bits of the film they're showing.
Now, before we get into the review and everything, you have the Steelbook, right? Yes. Who did that one? What was the company?
Oh, Shout Factory.
Okay, look, hold that up. That looks incredible. We were at Walmart, and he noticed that.
I missed it on my first glance through. He said Return of the Living Dead. I'm like, wait, what? And I knew it. Obviously, growing up with this movie, I knew exactly. I'm like, wait, 4K combo with Blu-ray. Well, I don't have a 4K setup, but I do have a Blu-ray setup.
Yes.
It's a 3-disc set, 4K disc, and then 2 Blu-ray discs. So it's got quite a bit of goodies that I haven't gotten a chance to go through yet.
They even have on this one a zombie.
One of the subtitles options says zombie subtitles. We haven't gotten a chance to look at that yet, but we are after we get done filming this. But stuff like that, where they do fun little stuff like that. One of the DVD releases for Galaxy Quest.
Oh, I
had a Thermion audio track.
I gotta get the anniversary edition.
Yeah, I don't know if it's included on some of the newer releases, but one of the older DVDs that I had a Thermion audio track, so it sounded like it was the alien's language the entire time.
Thermion language audio track.
Yes.
See, that's why I'll keep this DVD, because
stuff like that, and DVDs in general, Blu-rays, stuff like that is great. When it's just fun little stuff. But okay, Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, tell me about how you got introduced to this.
My father. Okay, I started to tell you this. Obviously, hitting him in the brain doesn't work. The second film
is testicles. They don't ever.
There's the scene in the second one where they shove a screwdriver through the zombie's ear. And it's like, get the goddamn screwdriver out of the side of my head. Yes, the zombies talk, and it's funny as hell. But they're meant to be comedies. The guy that directed this first one, Dan O'Bannon, helped write the original Alien film. So it's great. I mean, Alien straight up basically a haunted house movie in space. If you've ever seen the original Alien,
it's
I've got it. I'll have to show you it.
So if I have, it's been a long time.
But
I know I've seen something
the dark atmosphere. They're stuck on a ship. They're being hunted by the one alien. So it's like a haunted house film in space.
It's a great concept.
And then you get to like Return of the Living Dead in the mid-'80s, and you get this comedy, which is wonderful what it says about people's writing.
Yeah, but this was based off of a true story. So
I
love the way they
open that. It's like,
yes,
yeah, it's like it's real. I'm like, wow.
that is a more okay. So you have Shaun of the Dead, Zombieland, and Return of the Living Dead are probably the best comedy zombies or
Agreed.
zombie comedy films. And did this? Would you say did this start like a sub genre of zombie films? Do you think this is the one that started the comedies of zombies, or what? It might have had some influence at least in that
Definitely some
subgenre.
influence in the subgenre of the comedy horror. And having watched the movie again, it pulls it off. Trying to mix comedy and horror, sometimes you go one way too far or the other.
Sure.
Return of the Living Dead managed to do it. Because it knew, okay, we're not going to take ourselves seriously. Yes, we're going to have horror, but it's a comedy at heart.
It's a comedy at heart, but there are scenes where it's still eerie. Like, ooh, okay, like so they did a good job of balancing it. I wasn't
Agreed.
ever like scared, but
Exactly.
if you were in the situation, you know you're screwed unless you get to see trash naked. Then you might be okay.
You still might be screwed, but that's an entirely different matter.
Yeah.
Uh,
So this was made. You said 80 in the 80s.
In the late 80s. Mid to late 80s. But it's one my dad had found on DVD. I don't remember where he found it, but me and my siblings, we would watch this repeatedly. And as I told you, I could walk up to either one of my siblings who that live here in Illinois, look at them and go, "You mean the movie Live?" Or I'd go, "It worked in the movie," and they'd immediately shoot back, "You mean the movie Live?" Because we had seen the movie, we loved this film so much. That's why, even though I did not have the 4K setup, I went and bought it in store at Walmart rather than just go and order a basic Blu-ray.
For sure. Damn it, Eddie! He keeps making me find more movies I want to buy for the collection. Spend more money.
Between that
Trick or
and
Treat, I've already ordered. It's on. It's going to be here in October.
we are definitely going to have to do at least a 4K
That is
review
going to be on
it.
this channel. It's going to be the comprehensive Arrow edition that comes with a lot of special features, like Mallrats.
We did do a Trick or Treat when we first started the channel, but Arrow Video, one of those boutique labels like Shout Factory and all that, are doing a 4K. And yes, when Billy told me he had already pre-ordered, I'm like, we're doing a review.
We're doing a review for that, and for Spooky Season, we're going to have to review one of the scariest films ever made.
Last House on the Left?
Halloween Town.
Oh.
No, I haven't seen that one either. But
I
he has been introducing me to films pre-90s. I have most of my films are either 90s or later. I have a few. I think Princess Bride might be my oldest film.
I love that movie. I've got my own copy.
Or no, I take that back. No, that's not my oldest film. It would be Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay, good movie.
Okay, but anyways, back to Return of the Living Dead. So what's your story with this? Did you guys watch this a lot?
Oh yeah. Growing up, we didn't have cable, all that. This was part of a limited DVD selection we had at the time. Between this one, Monster Squad.
So how many movies did you say you had at that time?
At that time, 100.
That's still a good amount of variety. Yeah.
Agreed. But that was Dad's collection as a whole. And that's rough estimate. I mean, I may be off there. But having this one in my personal collection, finding it at Walmart, it's like, yes. Because when you try and put a wish list together, there's films that you grew up with that may slip your mind when you go to write stuff down.
That's why whenever you go in person, somewhere like a V-Stock, you will see movies, or Walmart, or wherever, you will see movies, oh, I forgot about this one. Or I haven't seen this in so long that I need to get it.
When we hit V-Stock.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
No, the previous one, when we hit V-Stock.
Oh, okay.
I purposely went hunting down Monster Squad so I could add it to my collection. But stuff like this, yeah, I grew up with it. Return of the Living Dead, we'd watch it. 4th of July a couple years ago, I shared a thing about this movie because it takes place 4th of July weekend. And I simply shared, it's party time. Because that's the song when the zombies start.
Right, and I love this too because the fact that it takes place in summer, it allows them to make the day longer and build up the suspense of what's going to happen at night.
Agreed.
It kind of like builds and builds. Like it starts out in the daylight and then It takes place over the course of what, like 24 hours or less? Like one,
Less.
yeah, like a little bit less, because it's like 5 in the morning when
Like
they're done.
like a 12-hour span.
Yeah, and I like that a lot about this film. Now I'm curious to see some of the other ones. As Eddie has told me, there's Night of the Living Dead, which I have not
Oh,
seen.
you mean the original Dead film?
I have to see those as well.
Oh yes, the comedy horror. They're more into the horror aspect than the comedy. Though obviously the original Night, and I'm pretty sure Dawn as well was done before Return. Actually, if you'll give me one moment, I believe this and one of the other Dead films released at the same time.
Okay, you'll have to look that up. So
released at the same time, and this one I believe outperformed.
Okay. So while he's looking that up, I will tell you we were looking at it. It was made on a $4 million budget, and they say a movie needs to make 2.5 to 3 times its budget to be profitable. So this made 14 million, so that's over 3 times its budget. So this was a financial success, and especially then. Now it would be different. Making 14 million off of 4 million back then that's a lot of money still back then. Even now it's still a decent amount, but uh, this is one of those films that I don't know. The crowd I hang around with, we're all, except for you and my friend Brian, most of my friends, they watch horror, but they're kind of new to the genre overall, or they're still, basically, with all the horror out there. I went to a horror convention back this summer, and I told people there that I met, I'm still relatively new to horror. Like, I have a subgenre I like, and that is comedy slash slasher films, not into, like, the gore porn, as they call it. I'm more into this kind of stuff where there's some elements of comedy there. And so I like this because this is an easy. If I had a friend of mine that had never seen a horror film and said, I want to try horror, but I want more comedy aspects, this would be a good starter movie.
Oh, yes. Okay. July of '85, George A. Romero released the highly anticipated third movie in his influential Dead franchise, with a gritty and overly serious Day of the Dead. 1 month later, Dan O'Bannon, the screenwriter behind Alien, released the luscious, punk-infused horror comedy Return of the Living Dead. Both of these movies are amazing in their own enjoyable. Both went on to inspire countless zombie movies that would follow in the years to come. Whether it be sequels, remakes, or entirely new stories, but there has always been a debate between horror fans as to which is the better zombie movie. It says they'll settle it now, but I'm just sort of hoping for.
If it's Eddie and I, we will watch a little bit of everything. So to me, you don't have to pick and choose. Just watch them all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is one I'm probably going to have to get for my collection as well because I had a lot of fun with it. It's one that I feel like I could rewatch this every year and not get burnt out on it because it just is so much fun. And when you see, I told you, what was the comment I made? When you see like the punk group, the 80s, I'm like, yeah, this is the 80s.
Yeah,
like they look unique. I mean, their names are Suicide, and they just have Spider. Yeah, they trash. They just have these really fun grunge names. I loved it. Like just the whole vibe of this, like the way they did the lighting, and then I kept telling them there was a dong, and it sounded like the Taco Bell gong, and I made that joke. But yeah, this is a lot of fun. And I go, really, Bert and Ernie, and he just started laughing.
Because I forgot, it's something, my dad had made the reference in one of our watches, and it's my mind, just something, a comment somebody made.
Special features on the 4K disc, or no, it's just set up. They don't have special features, right?
Yeah.
It has the original HD master. You have 2.0 HD, 5.
Oh, we watched it mono. I'll have to make sure I change it to 5.0. No.
There's probably English subtitles, zombie subtitles in their words. The zombies speak. And you can turn them off. But zombie subtitles, I'm curious. We're gonna watch a little bit of it. Eddie actually has some stuff to do here in a bit, but we're gonna watch more.
Click commentaries, would you?
Commentaries? Yeah, there are commentaries. Co-author of Gary Smart.
4 different commentaries on a 4K disc.
That's impressive, and then it has the cast and crew. Now, that's the one I would like to watch.
I wish I brought the J card with me because over at Billy, so I don't have the access to my shelf, and I just grabbed the case. I left the J card.
That's a lot of options for 4K. I've seen that.
Agreed.
A few 4K films do have special features.
But
However,
it's usually very limited.
usually the Blu-ray, that's why you want to get 4K plus Blu-ray. That way you have
Because-
both. That's why those are more expensive. It's like probably $5 more for the combo. But look at the art on that. Just beautiful. The back on that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just
That's
it's
Hank.
incredible. Now that's why I think the 4K plus Blu-ray are worth it. Because if you're an Eddie, he doesn't have the 4K set up yet, but he is what we call future proofing. He has a Blu-ray copy and a 4K. That way he doesn't have to buy this again. Because that's the thing. I've noticed I will buy a 4K of a movie I've already owned. Oh, show that to the screen. That's awesome. I have a 4K. If I have a Blu-ray I already own and I have to buy the 4K, I want to get the combo if I don't have it at all. Like with this movie, I don't own it at all, so I'm not buying the same film twice or 3 times if you're going DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. But at least with this, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the 4K remaster, the transfer, and then you're also getting the quality of the special features. But you can tell with this one, they didn't just, because sometimes it's grainy when they just do a very quick, oh, it's on 4K now. This was actually
no.
a true
Well,
transfer.
okay. 4K transfer usually, and I've noticed with the Shout Factory specifically because I've been monitoring this stuff, especially with like the Friday the 13th set I bought. They do very good transfers. They don't do a cheap proof. No, they put out the effort to actually make the films look good on 4K.
Okay.
The first 4 Friday the 13th have brand new 4K transfers in that 16 film box set. But knowing that they took time for what some people may consider a niche film, it's got a select audience, is great. And I don't know if they redid. I know they have the second one available on Blu-ray because it's on my wish list on their website. But I don't know if it's a remaster or not. I know that Shout Factory's done, at least has released it, but I don't know if they put the effort like they did
Do
in the
they
first
have
film.
a box set of these on Blu-ray?
No, I've been looking. That's partially what I was doing while we were watching the film. As I found 2 and 3, I found on Blu-ray fairly easy. The last 2, evidently there's a combo pack, but it's not available.
Are they as good as these?
They got cheesier as they went.
I'm okay with that though.
Okay, I think it's Rave to the Grave, the final one. You know the whole brains bit. One of the zombies bites a cheerleader in the ass.
That's funny as hell. I think my favorite thing is, and I told Eddie too, there are scenes where you can tell they're overacting a bit.
Oh,
And
okay,
they make it over the top intentionally. It's not like
Okay,
the actors.
let me ask you something, because there's a difference between overacting and then there's what is referred to as eating the scenery, where they go majorly overboard.
That's what I loved about it.
Have you seen example off the top of my head? Have you seen the movie Dungeons and Dragons? Not the new one, the older one.
No, I have not seen the older ones.
Okay, I'll have to show you because I do have them. But Jeremy Irons in that movie, and for those of you that don't recognize the name, he's the voice of Scar in The Lion King. In the original animated Lion King.
Okay, gotcha.
He eats the scenery in that movie. The overacting is that bad.
Sometimes it makes it entertaining,
But
though,
it
especially
is.
with this.
But it is, and that's the beauty of it.
And the nice thing about this film too is, let's say you are having a movie day and you want to watch multiple movies. This film's not very long. To me, anything under 2 hours or less is easy watch. It's easy to watch. And I still have to decide if we end up getting time. Well, maybe we will have to see. But I'm wanting to show him a movie called The Final Girls, where they actually. Well, we'll get into that. But that's a possible video.
Tone-wise, is it like Return of the Living Dead?
It's different as far as how, but it's very campy.
That's what I mean by tone-wise.
Yeah, it's very campy.
Campy and
it has a lot of stereotypes from the 80s.
Oh.
And basically these people go into a horror film and they know how the movie goes, so they think if they follow the rules, but then it changes. As what happened in the film originally doesn't happen when they get there.
Well, yeah. Because their presence alone would
Right
to the story a bit.
But it makes it's really fun. It's like just at 2 hours.
See, okay. when it comes to film one time.
We might have time to watch it and get over in time to see. Tonight, guys, we might have to do. We don't usually do reviews on movies we see in theaters. We may have to break that rule at some point. We're going to be seeing tonight Speak No Evil, James McAvoy.
And the only thing I've seen McAvoy in that I remember is the X-Men prequel film.
Yeah, I have not watched Split or that series, Glass.
But he's a wonderful actor. I loved him as Professor X. So seeing him in something different.
Horror.
See, that's another thing. Is some of these actors I grew up with through one or two films. Finding stuff where they expanded what they could do and realized that they could do different things is like, wow.
So yeah, seeing the range. I'll give you an example. Emma Myers, who plays Enid in Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
She did A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is a limited series on Netflix. It's about a girl who, this couple, the girlfriend's killed and they believe the boyfriend killed himself. 5 years later, or 5 or 6 years later, she is their senior capstone project. They call it something different in the show, but basically, she believes the boyfriend's innocent. He never killed his girlfriend. And as she starts digging, somebody is watching her and threatening her. So it shows her range. She goes from this happy-go-lucky girl to a natural investigator.
Okay.
So, anyways, with range, so yeah, seeing something like this, you see them doing this over-the-top, campy style. I wonder what some of the cast did outside of this, because I'm kind of curious now as far as to how.
I have to look into that because I think.
Was this a starter film for something? I mean, obviously some of the cast is older, so they've probably been in other stuff.
The older members, Bert, Ernie, Frank.
Bert and Ernie? Right.
I'm pretty sure at least one of those was a serious actor because on the DVD there was at least one commentary, and I think they did mention that. So yeah, I'm going to have to watch this movie 4 more times at least because I will listen to the commentaries. I'll put them on in the background. I may not actually sit and watch. I'll go clean, but I'll have it on so I'll listen. And that's how I clean. When I've got to do stuff around my apartment, I'll put something on in the background so I've got noise.
See, I listen to music, or I call a friend and talk to them as I'm doing dishes, because it's one of those things. I don't know what it is. Something about when you have something else going on, it helps you do a task.
Exactly.
It makes it not as painful.
Runtime, as you mentioned, it's a manageable runtime. What, hour and a half?
Yeah, hour
It's
and a
on the
half.
J card.
It's not very long.
Actually,
I know it's under
it's
2.
on the Blu-ray disc. Give me a minute.
I think it was like an hour.
90 minutes. Hour and a half.
An hour and a half. And it felt like it went by in a breeze.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And runtimes like that, hour and a half works great for something like this.
It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Some of them I've seen that barely over an hour because they were done cheap TV, straight to TV movies. I've got a bunch of those in my 50 film horror box.
But with this movie, reviewing this is fun because we're going to have to start reviewing other serious films.
Okay.
Like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. One of the most serious.
Is that the only one you got?
Yeah.
Okay.
All these special
you got Holy Grail, right?
I've got the special edition.
I've got Meaning of Life.
I got this for $4 at the flea market. It has all these bonus features.
Yeah, I think I've got the same. I may have the same edition.
But when it comes to films like these, these are the type you sit down, you have fun, and I laugh my butt off at some of the special effects because they're definitely cheesy.
Check my copy when I get home.
They're definitely cheesy. Like this movie's cheesy, but in a fun way. It's not cheesy and cringe.
It knows it's cheesy.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the cover though, the art on that's incredible.
I'm surprised I didn't spot this because even without the title there, I would have recognized the Taller Man immediately.
But this is a film. If I called you, Eddie, and said, "Hey, AMC's doing a re-release of this," would you go see it?
Yes.
Okay. Because they've been doing that. They did Shaun of the Dead recently, and they're doing Harry Potter now. They're doing some of the older Harry Potter.
All right. Now that we've done this, I would love to sit and watch the Cornetto trilogy of the film. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
I have those on DVD.
Because they are great little movies, and when Shaun of the Dead first came out, I had already seen this.
Kill the Queen!
So, parts of Shaun of the Dead, the tone and all that, reminded me of this movie.
I could see it. I could see it.
The tone and all that. But it is... for a younger audience growing up with this, I remember seeing. Actually, I remember seeing the last one first because we found it, I think, cheap at like Dollar General.
Oh, okay. Did they have like a pack, or was it by itself?
It was by itself. It was a cheap one, but Dad had already seen some of the others, so he's like, "Oh, okay." And when he was able to get the first one, we sat and watched it and all laughed our asses off.
Hell yeah. It's such a fun, easy to
And-
digest film. If you're not into gross horror, this is for you.
And what made it even better is having been fans of the Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead films. When that whole bit, it worked and the movie came up. Oh, pause the movie while your kids get their laughter under control so you can hear the damn audio.
I have a feeling watching movies with your family, as when you guys were kids, even now would be fun. But as kids, I'm sure it was crazy.
Oh, it was massively crazy. I showed you Monster Squad. Wolfman's got nuts. We lost it.
I felt bad for poor Wolfman in that scene, though. Ow.
Just a little. But yeah. Like I said, I've got the second one on my wish list. I was able to find the third one through Walmart. I don't know.
Is this the most iconic one of the group?
The first one probably.
Yeah.
See, a lot of that. See, it only got 4 sequels. But that's like that with a lot of films. Usually, yeah, people remember the sequels, but it's the first one that it's iconic, and I think that's why it did get the 4K Steelbook release. Because it is an iconic film from that time frame.
Yeah. I'm going to make going off of this now. I do have to update you guys about the channel. We at one point said we were going to be doing a Stranger Things episode by episode review. We're no longer going to do that. What we're going to do is watch when we have time, and we might do like a season review of each one. You know, we might have to do an episode by episode for the 4th season because I'm telling you, it's epic and there's a lot that happens. But we'll kind of play it by ear.
Spoilers, I've only seen season 1.
Yeah, and we plan on continuing season 1 and then doing like an end of season 1 recap for our review, and we'll keep doing it. But I do have to tell you guys something. There's bad news too. I gotta tell you the bad news. The bad news is, unfortunately, guys, I don't know how to say this. We're gonna have to rewatch season 1 of Wednesday.
Oh, that's not bad.
Because season 2 is coming out in September 2025, which means I have to watch season 1 of Wednesday again.
We've got to be ready. And you act like that's a hassle.
And here's the thing, guys. Wednesday, as Eddie knows, barely a character that I like.
Barely. You saying you barely like Wednesdays, me saying I barely like Sam from Trick or Treat.
I mean, I don't know. It's not like I...
Metal lunchbox. You have a little plastic thing. You've got figurines.
I don't really have much.
I do like her dress though.
I don't have much Wednesday stuff. I just...
No, not at all.
I don't know what to do about this. No, and I'm excited, guys. Season 2 was announced for Wednesday, and I think I messaged you like the day of.
It got announced pretty quick after season 1, but when we actually got a release window,
September 25. If arguably, Eddie, when do you consider the start of spooky season? Like officially,
July 5th.
See, I look at it when the state fair's done and like Old Settlers and all that around here, like kind of later August, early September. Because early September now. This year we have Beetlejuice in early September.
For those of you not familiar with Old Settlers, it's our homecoming pretty much.
Yeah, it's like the state fair, but they don't charge you to get in. You just pay for like your food and your rides.
It's that little town.
Yeah, like a town carnival.
It's like a county fair.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it because you don't have to pay to go to it, so your money can actually go to local businesses and stuff.
Exactly. We walk on Main Street.
And another thing, him and I've talked to you about doing this, where we do like maybe not even just spooky season, but Christmas, whenever, doing movie days where we sit down, we watch 3 or 4 films, and then we may not review every single film that we watch because there's sometimes you just want to sit back and enjoy a film and not have to think about it much.
Oh, I don't, and that's why a lot of these I'll end up either repeating myself a couple times.
Yeah.
Or I'm talking just off the top of my head
I
because
love that.
I don't sit and think as I'm watching the movie. It's just like, oh,
No, I don't either, because the thing is, when you take notes, to me, it ruins the fun of the movie. And if you're like us, we're pretty good about remembering things that happen in a film we just watched.
especially since, well, I've seen this one so many times. I mean, we hit play and the movie started, and I could tell immediately, okay, 4K looks beautifully.
But what we're gonna instead of what we're doing is we just sort of pick a movie off the shelf that either we haven't seen or one of us hasn't seen, or just something we want to rewatch. And so I'm glad we were able to get on this channel and do this off the cuff. Like Eddie says, we don't sit down and write down everything we're gonna say. You know what I mean? We may plan like a little skit, but we're not gonna sit there and do like an hour predetermined video, because to me that's not fun and it's not real. We're not
No.
actually talking to you guys off the cuff, and that would make it not as fun.
Oh, the talking zombies, the bit that they're showing right now when when zombies ambush the cops, was I was like, wait, they talk?
And I did. I was like, they talk, and I like how they build the tension. They don't throw it at you right away. It's just sort of something's about to go down.
And despite being a zombie movie, the word zombie I think is only used once. I was actually paying attention to that.
Okay.
It was towards the end, one spider and them get to the funeral home.
Well, I think they
It's
knew
like there's
they
zombies
were.
out there, and that is it.
They knew they were undead, but they weren't. Yeah,
They don't
didn't-
use the word undead at all.
No.
It's like people are coming out of the ground, but the word zombie is only used once.
This is another one of those I'll have to add, because, as I told Eddie, I'm still kind of new to horror, so I'm trying to add to my spooky season collection, which
This
a lot of my stuff is like Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, Insidious, Scream.
I don't know.
Twitches.
How many of the Insidious?
I have all of them. That's a series we'll have to eventually watch together.
DVD or Blu-ray?
I have DVD of the first, because they had a 4-pack,
Yeah.
and then the new one, The Last Key, I have the Blu-ray for.
The last.
The next spooky season movie I want to show you, though, is not Insidious. Guys, I want to review this one for the channel with him.
I know we're getting off topic, but we do that. For those of you that have watched show videos, you know we go on tangent.
No, that's not it. That's the one I just watched. I know we did last summer. A new one's coming out next year.
It has the transfer.
For Blu-ray, it's pretty good.
Oh, it's just Blu-ray?
Yeah, I thought it was 4K Steelbook, but it's just a Blu-ray Steelbook. But I'm
Okay.
fine with it.
Let's engage you guys. Alright. Future proofing, as Billy called it earlier. How do you guys feel about... I've heard that's a good one. I need to watch that.
Del
Scary...
Toro. We'll have to
Ooh.
watch that together sometime.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. But how do you guys feel about buying a copy of a movie if you don't have the setup for one of the versions? For instance, I bought this even though I don't have a 4K setup, but I do have the Blu-ray setup that comes with it. So there is a Blu-ray copy. How do you guys feel about future proofing?
Yeah, leave a comment. Do you think it's a good idea to buy the 4K plus Blu-ray, because years in the future, 4K TVs have become a lot cheaper than when they first came out. I told Eddie I got this 50-inch. It was barely $200 because it was on sale, and it's an LG, which LG and Samsung are the two brands I look at.
Yeah.
There are other brands I would consider, but the future proofing. You can come over here anytime and watch 4K with me.
They're correct. Well, that's partially another reason why I have no problem doing 4K, especially once we started the channel. Is because, yeah, I'd find these movies and I'd want to watch them in the best possible aspect if I could. Having a great fun that has a 4K setup lets me do that.
The problem I have with watching movies at his place, his couch is too comfortable and I fall asleep.
I'm sorry.
Or I get tired. I don't even have to be tired. I think now that I'm in my 30s, I literally can just sit down and be like, my body's tired, and I just start.
I'll be 30 next year, dude.
Yeah, you're right, and I always think you're like 21. But I would say this is one of those that I would watch every Halloween. I told him
I watch it July 4th weekend.
I rotate my Halloween films like every 2 years. This is one like Halloween Town where I would have to watch this every year.
This is my July 4th weekend movie.
Okay.
Because
most people watch Independence Day. This guy watched Return of the Living Dead. That's how we know we're friends, because we watch that kind of. And we're going to be doing spooky season stuff. It's just our schedules don't always match up, but we're trying to get to where we're doing more film watches.
Yes. Okay. Oh, if I happen to get the second one, would you want to do the second one too?
Yeah, why not? It's fun.
The 2 is on. It's on my list to get.
Okay. What's that one called?
Just Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Okay.
Part 2, not 2.
Same characters?
Characters, I don't think so, but I think a couple of the actors come back as new characters.
No Bert and Ernie though.
No Bert and Ernie.
This is gonna be Oscar and.
I think the actors
Elmo?
that play Frank and Freddy come back.
Cool.
The 2 that got gassed.
Yes.
Because I think there's a line. It's like, why does this seem familiar?
But we need to. Him and I need to actually sit down and write a list of all of the stuff we review for the channel. That way we know what we have and haven't done. Because between him and I, he has more than me now. But I think between the two of us now, we have over 1,000.
I mean, a lot of that is courtesy of my mother.
But the thing is, we support our media because Barnes and Noble, while we're here, just announced they're getting rid of their Criterion, and they're getting rid of their physical media.
Well, that's
for movies. So, and they have good. I mean, Criterion. There aren't a lot of films I even have heard of when it comes to Criterion, but they're real expensive.
The Criterion Collection films, and my first experience with the Criterion film.
I'll order from their site. It's cheaper.
Was Godzilla.
Really? Which one? The original?
King of the Monsters, 1956.
Ah.
/ Godzilla, 1954. There was a 2-year gap between the original Japanese
Okay, did not know
and
that.
the American release, and there was differences between the two. I love the Japanese version. Angie, my aunt, she prefers to watch the American version because she grew up with the show Perry Mason and Raymond Burke. So she doesn't like having to read subtitles all the time.
Well, this is just under 2 hours. I was looking at it, 108 minutes.
But
There's
yeah.
Del Toro. He's another one I want to explore.
That's another thing while I'm here, and I'm watching a film in its original language. For instance, Godzilla. Watching it in the original Japanese.
Mm-hmm. With subtitles, yeah.
I mean, that one's a little different because there are 2 different versions of the film. There's the Japanese and the American version. But then there's movies like 36 Chamber of the Shaolin.
I've heard of that one.
It's a martial arts movie done in the 70s.
And I need to get the new Godzilla -0.
I haven't seen it yet.
I heard that one's good.
But that's one maybe it's just going to be dubbed. Watching it dubbed versus subbed is normally what
I prefer sub.
So do I.
Because I don't like the way they English it over usually.
Personally, although no, having fun with that on the other hand is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Muting your TV and sounding random things at the TV when the characters look so moving. Kung Fu Theater.
We gotta do that. Riff track.
But yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I think you and I would have fun with it. The funniest one, guys, I will tell you this: we're watching Harry Potter, and it's the one Azkaban because the Dementors are coming.
Yeah.
And he's out over the lake.
Oh no.
And he sees the stag, and my friend looks at me and says, "Don't forget your trail mix." So then after that, every time we hung out, I would bring trail mix with me, and he thought that was the funniest. Just little jokes like that led to a year-long track of me bringing trail mix every time I hung out with him.
Okay.
But I love riff track. This would be fun to riff. Could you imagine some of the commentary we would come up with?
Oh,
like
God.
Whenever Trash is naked, titties.
You were doing that anyway. Every time you saw
she
it,
was hot. Yeah, not gonna lie. But yeah, we hope check it out for yourself. I'm trying to think. That's the thing. I'm a fan. I told Eddie I will do streaming too to see if I want to buy something or if it's a streaming exclusive. But physical media is where it's at, and as more places get rid of it, I think we got to keep.
I know some of you guys probably just enjoy having the movie itself. You're not into all the goodies, so you don't need the special edition.
And look at that art. Just for the art alone,
the art is beautiful, though.
Yeah, that's why I like having physical.
So maybe you can find a cheap DVD copy of it,
or Blu-ray,
or Blu-ray. But it's one if you enjoyed Shaun of the Dead, because I know our audience is probably a bit newer to some of these films. If you enjoyed Shaun of the Dead, this is one I would recommend. Because it's that same tone, it's that comedy. Shaun of the Dead is a bit brighter, and I mean the actually lighting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the darkness on the 4K for this one, I was worried. I'll be honest.
It helps the colored
Because
stuff pop more with the dark.
sometimes those dark scenes don't transfer good.
No, they don't. This one, I like. It makes the light stuff pop more. Just like him and I are gonna have to watch the 4K version of Coraline, and then I just got Paranorman. So those two we've discussed doing a Leica film thing where we watch. I don't know about the other one. There's one called like Box Trolls. And
There was a
one,
4-pack at Walmart I saw while we were there earlier today.
There's like 4 or 5 of those films.
But my mom, she let me know that a video I ordered her just arrived.
What was it?
Escape from LA.
I need to watch Escape from New York with you.
Okay.
In LA.
LA, they're both Shout Factory releases that I got her. LA's basic Blu-ray, but the copy of New York I bought her.
Oh, okay.
I went extra for her because she does have the setup, and got her the 4K.
Nice.
I've got the basic Blu-ray because I was able to find it in store at Walmart.
So you cuss at her, then you said they're nice movies. That's not a bad trade. If someone cussed at me and then said, "Here's a $40 high quality film," well, thank you. Call me whatever you want.
I just dropped $140 on her.
Yeah, he's good to his mom, despite how he talks.
A lot of people, they hear me talk to my mother and it's insults.
I would be dead.
She takes them as compliments, and that's how we talk to one another.
And it's great.
She's someone when I'm not on a nightly basis, we'll watch stuff together. At the moment, we're watching the TV show Grimm.
Eddie's mom, if you're watching this right now, hear this. We are going to go to V-Stock, me, you, and your son here, and I will reach the top shelf for you. No problem. All right?
I'm only like 5 foot, guys. She's shorter than me. Love you, Mom.
You're awesome, even though we haven't met. You're cool, and I can't wait to hang out.
But no, I bought her the 4K, and I even told her, I'm like, all right, we'll have to watch them together.
Absolutely. Because
she had seen New York, because I showed it to her. We found it streaming so we could watch it. But I wanted her to show me how the 4K looks, because a lot of that movie takes place in the dark.
Oh. Lost Boys, we're going to have to review that for the channel. It looks incredible in 4K because of the dark. So certain movies with the transfers look great in the dark. Others look a little grainy.
I think it's maybe who does it.
I agree. Arrow has never let me down so far. And I'm going to start getting more Arrow. Do you know if they do quite a bit of films like that?
Well, the copy I was telling me and my mom were telling you about the Offspring trilogy.
Yeah.
The copy I've got is an Arrow release.
What was the other studio we talked about that's really good? Oh, Shout Factory. Arrow and Shout Factory, so far, both of those have looked
Those two have not let me down when it comes to releases.
You know whatever else hasn't let me down? Never Gonna Give
You Up. Never Gonna Let You Down.
Alright, so go.
If anybody in our comment section, if you've had poor releases through either of these companies, let us know and let us know your concerns.
Yeah, is there a movie company you like to go through?
Or if you have
Arrow and Shout Factory.
Or if you have another boutique label that's good, I mean, shipping is good. Product you receive the product it's in great shape, or at least good in shape. I know sometimes damage during shipping, but as long as it's not heavily damaged. Quality of the film, if it's a new transfer done for that specific release. Let us know about this.
Yeah, because we are constant.
We are constant. I buy through Walmart.com a lot, but I watch who it's actually sold and shipped by, because I want to watch that cautiously, because I bought a movie through Amazon once, and maybe it's because it was a movie from the 30s, but the picture on the website did not match what I actually got, and I ended up actually getting just a bone copy.
So that's what we're saying. Okay, if I bought one movie through Arrow Mallrats, then I ordered Trick or Treat, and if I keep getting good quality films, I'm gonna keep buying.
Mallrats you found in
Best Buy. Yeah, but it was made by the Arrow. So I'm saying is, if there's a company that let's say I buy 10 movies and they're all good, if I get an 11th one that's bad, I can say, okay, they had one miss, but overall they're still good.
I watch that, but I also. I don't think I'll be buying movies from Amazon if I can help it.
I have, but not very many.
I was gonna say,
only mainstream. I only go for mainstream.
It may have been because it was such an older film.
Right.
But I usually go through Walmart.com, and when I'm there,
Grove,
There's not actually a seller, but you can find the Shout Factory stuff on Walmart.
Really? Okay.
That's where I found the 4K New York. It was cheaper on the Walmart site than it was on the Shout site.
Yeah, and you got to watch that too because you can easily get ripped off, or maybe not ripped off, but you overpay where you could get it $10 cheaper elsewhere. Then you got to look at shipping cost because sometimes some places the shipping, even though the movie's cheaper, you pay the same because of the shipping cost.
Walmart, for instance, if you don't spend $35, they add an additional like $7 onto the for not spending a minimum.
So is it better to spend that minimum and wait until you have the money for say 2 or 3 films?
Depending on how much you're actually spending. Yeah.
Right. But guys, we've talked about all this, and there are so many great films out there that we haven't seen, and we're just scratching the surface.
And
of
I
this
am
channel.
so glad that movies like Return of the Living Dead are getting this nice treatment. I wish there was a plastic protective sleeve over it.
Yeah, did it come with some movies do, some don't?
No,
do you
it
think
didn't.
that's something the Steelbook should start including so they don't get scratched as a cover? Because I do. I think there needs to be a better.
Honestly, yes, because and especially if it's like my copy of Mothra, which is a Steelbook Blu-ray only, or Cutthroat Island, which is a Steelbook 4K combo. Both of those have a protective cover, but it's not just a plastic clear thing. Well,
This is my favorite Steelbook I've received because on the front it has snow, and on the back it has Lucy Gray
Can
Baird.
you see this?
And it has an actual cover and it's like a hologram. Same thing with your treasure.
With Cutthroat Island, that's what I was about to say. And don't just make it plain.
This is one I will show him because it is the prequel, and Eddie has not watched all the Hunger Games, but that one I think he would enjoy. It's more primal and it's more like early. It's very early on, and right now they're working on another book, which is going to be Haymitch's Hunger Games.
Okay.
From when he was in his prime, but this one you'll like, I think.
But no, this is exactly what I was talking about. Don't just make it a plain plastic thing you just throw over the cake.
Give it a full protective cover.
Give it a little design.
Yeah.
Having a nice design makes that way it's just like, oh, we don't need this. And yeah, we may not be like that, but some people may be.
It depends on
not realizing it. They may not realize that first that it's there to protect.
Yeah.
The steel.
Because otherwise you have to go out online and buy protective covers that they do have available online. You can get the protective covers.
So yes, a protective cover over this one would look neat if done right. They may have had to change the actual artwork on the box.
But yeah, Steelbooks I only buy here and there. And by the way, guys, I will tell you there are some films here I've not watched in my collection that I'm not looking forward to. After Earth, I've heard is kind of, so we'll see how that one is. But
protective covering on Steelbook should be the norm.
It should be. Why you wouldn't do that, I don't understand. Because why do you want to give your customer an item that's going to get scratched eventually? You're moving.
Whether moving or it's getting shipped in the mail.
Whatever the case is, or you're just pulling it off the shelf on and off. Eventually, it'll get scratched.
Depending on what's next to it, yeah.
They need to get.
If it's next to another Steelbook.
I do pretty good about not having Steelbook by Steelbooks. I would say I'm pretty good about that. But yeah, they need to give you protective covers, or set it up to where you go to Walmart or whatever, and there's a pack of protective covers for like $10 or whatever, however much. That way you have. But yeah, that needs to become the norm because something like this you don't want to get scratched. You may have to get a custom thing like online and get like the sleeves.
Maybe not completely like clear. Maybe have like translucent colored ones.
But like, could you imagine if they would have done like a normal face and when you pull it up, you see that underneath it? That would have been really cool.
Actually, would have been neat. Yeah, because if you notice when everything first happened, the effect on the face.
Oh, it was so cool.
That would have been cool.
Yes. But guys, we've been talking enough, I think.
I know we got off topic as always.
But that's what this channel's about. We talk to you about a movie we just watched, but then we also talk about everything else that kind of connects. But yeah, the Barnes & Noble news is kind of sad. I'll be honest, though, I didn't buy a lot because they were still high.
Barnes & Noble, I mean, I thought about buying that one Princess Bride the one time we were there before even you bought it.
Oh, because I got it at V-Stock.
But damn.
They're even on sale. They're like $40.
Yeah.
And I would like to see. The only thing I'm disappointed about that is
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with
the one in New York,
Barnes & Noble.
They had pre-owned and new, and they had a whole upstairs area. They had one area where it was vinyl, and movies, I am gonna miss if they're gonna get rid of that because that was like the highlight of that because there were tons of movies and they were reasonable. But yeah, Barnes and Noble no longer do movies, so now we're down to Walmart and your online stuff. Target has a very limited selection. We've been, and they're still higher too. I'd say Walmart's your most fair priced one that I found in person.
But I mean, I'm not trying to turn anyone against Barnes and Noble, but
No.
they're just a little bit out of my price range, is all.
Me too.
For a single item.
For a single item, yeah. If it's on sale for like 20, I'll buy it.
Oh, okay.
But they have some really nice Studio Ghibli steelbooks that are exclusives, and I would love to get my hands on some of those, but they're kind of high.
I mean, I go to Barnes and Noble, Books a Million. It's like, okay, snag one book, one or two books, because I used to be quite the avid reader. I've gotten more into doing the film thing now.
I do both.
I do, but I'm trying to build at the moment. I'm building my Vampire Chronicles collection.
Okay.
And when I was with my mom and brother, beginning of September, and we hit V-Stock and all that, we did stop at Barnes and Noble, but they did not have the next book in the series. So, oops. I almost got my mother a giant Uno deck though, and I mean giant.
That's
Uno
hilarious. Deck. But guys, I would say if you're collecting films, get yourself one shelf to start out with, and just go for the titles you really must have. Don't try to do it so fast where you're spending every dollar. I mean,
no, that is
get what you want.
That is my collecting. I'm now down to what? 3 movie shelves, 2 TV show shelves. One of those movie shelves is barely the first shelf. It's full.
Yeah. Yeah, but you definitely have more movies than me now.
But that's going to be all my Marvel.
But you've been able to find, you've had good luck with buying your films from like different sellers and stuff pretty well.
Well, when we hit V-Stock, I had nearly a whole paycheck to spend at that store.
Well, wait, yeah, we're planning on going next year to one. If they have something like this there, or if I can find a good copy of this online, I'll probably end up getting it soon.
But yeah, Return of the Living Dead, Shaun of the Dead. I would love
2 thumbs up on this one. This is fun.
Now the other Dead films, the original Night of the Living Dead and all that, I would love to find for them to do, because I know they haven't done it because I've looked, a nice box set, whether it be just Blu-ray like Shout Factory did with the Friday the 13th, or if they do a 4K box set. Hopefully it's a 4K Blu-ray box set. Yeah, that's going to drive the price up, obviously. But it's only like, what? 6 films?
Okay.
9. That's not including any remakes.
That's manageable.
It's like 5 or 6.
Oh, I will say, guys, by the end of this year, here's the plan that I formed with Eddie. We are going to do a collection video. Now, probably multiple parts because we do have a lot of films to get through. But what we're planning on doing is going through your collection, going through my collection, and then each year showing I'll make a list and you can make a list. We'll show what we bought that year and then tell people, hey, go back to the previous videos, because we don't want to keep doing over 500, 600, 700, 800 once we get to 1,000 films. We want to get to like, okay, this is what we bought in 2025. This is what we bought in 2026. And that way we're just updating you on what we've added recently.
I recently split my TVs into a separate page on my movie list.
Yeah.
I'm pushing 600 titles in just film.
Dang. I'm probably at 5 something because I've slowed down a lot. But I'm buying like one movie at a time, but like a really good quality. So it's like $30 or $40. So
you do that one, and this has changed because stuff with work.
Oh yeah.
But I was able to put more money out because I had slightly larger checks.
Yeah, and that's good. That's why I told you do it while you can, because life happens, right, guys? So I would say when you have a moment, I mean, you obviously save, but when you say, you know what, I got like $100 I'm not going to miss, buy your films. Buy the films you want. You get this one life to watch all these films, and there's only so much time in the day. Another film I'm excited to show Eddie, Night of the Comet, a very cheesy, better than it deserves to be. The tagline, they came, they shopped, they saved the world.
Oh, God.
It's a zombie comedy that is so cheesy that you're going to be like, really? but it ends up having more twists and turns than I thought it was going to, and it was a lot better. This is an MGM film. I found this for $1 at our local record shop. MGM, and we were. Oh, by the way, I actually asked a friend of mine this last night. He told me MGM was bought by Amazon. They are now owned by Amazon. But when you buy a Wednesday thing, which I hardly have ever done, it says on the box MGM because it's trying to pay on because that's the original Addams Family owners.
Yeah, they own.
But they own by Amazon, but it doesn't say Amazon on it, so they let them put their name on all.
Question.
Yeah.
Does that mean that maybe we'll start getting some of those Amazon exclusives, the Amazon Primes?
I would love to. There's a movie I told Eddie I would like for him to see with me. It's called Totally Killer. It has Kiernan Shipka, who plays Sabrina from The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and she goes back in time to stop her mom's friends from being killed to try to figure out who the killer was.
Hold up. I think I just saw something.
And they use a photo booth.
I think.
What?
I thought I just saw something with her, and she was like at the very beginning.
Twisters.
Yes.
She's in Twisters.
Yes. It's like, boom.
Yeah, the trailers, she wasn't really in any, and I'm like, why are they underutilizing? She's a great actress. Because I was kind of pissed.
That's just the prologue.
And I was pissed at that, guys, because I'm like, there's no way in hell this would happen to Sabrina Sabrina who battled the devil. It's like a car crash. A car crash killed Lily and James Potter. It's a scandal.
An outrage.
That's what that reminded me of. I just sat there shocked, and my friends Adam and Evelyn just looked at me.
Stuff like that. Where they get good actors for these bit parts.
Drew Barrymore in Scream.
Okay, that was her idea. That was her idea to circumvent expectations.
And I loved it. That's what makes that one so hard to top in the franchise. Because I tell you guys, I go back between Scream 1 and Scream 6 is my favorite. Because 1 did so much for the horror genre. It really turned on and told you the rules, and then broke the rules.
Yes, it did.
The virgins, if you have sex, you die, and then someone that has sex lives.
Okay, the Friday the 13th remake from 2009. One of the main actors in the film, and I do mean that he's like the main actor in the film, not counting the guy that plays Jason, Jared Padalecki. And if you guys aren't familiar with the name, you should be familiar with the name Sam Winchester.
Yep.
From Supernatural. I'm watching this, and I'm watching this with
Where's the pie?
I'm watching this with my mother. No, that's Dean.
No, I know. I was telling.
I was watching this with my mother because we actually worked our way through all of them, both Friday and Nightmare. It's like, he just needs to call Dean. This would be settled real fast.
That's what I said about Walking Dead. Sam, Dean, your dad's being an asshole in The Walking Dead. Come take care of him.
How much of Supernatural have you seen?
I've seen random episodes, but in order. I've seen up to where the Hellhounds come. Okay. And I think Sam dies and has to come back.
Okay, I know.
Or no, maybe it's Dean. Dies. Dean dies.
But Lucille shows up in Supernatural.
I need to watch the whole series, guys.
The Bat. It shows up in Supernatural. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Bat. It's like, Dad loves this thing.
I can't wait to watch it.
But you know how people do like memes? It's like, gonna need that bat by Sunday.
By the way, I will tell you guys this before we end this. Supernatural, in my opinion, has the best pilot of all time. It's one of them. Just the pilot of that would pulls you in. Vampire Diaries as well, but you haven't seen Vampire Diaries. Have you?
I've watched the pilot.
That's it?
I wasn't drug into it like I was Supernatural, but it was good.
I'll tell you guys a story real quick here. Vampire Diaries, my friend wanted me to watch it. I started the first episode. I was kind of tired that night, and 5 minutes in, I'm like, nah. And then I came back to it later and watched the whole series really quick. The first 4 seasons are the best. Anyways, any final thoughts on Return of the Living Dead?
Other than it, collecting in general.
The movie lied.
Yes, the movie lied. But find yourself a cheap copy of this movie. You guys need a good laugh, or find it streaming. Put it on. It is a great little film.
It is.
I mean, I'm not really familiar with any of the actors' names in the film right off the bat. I'm more familiar with the crew. But it is great. So yes, If you haven't seen it, find it streaming. Find a cheap copy. If you have seen it and you know you like it,
Get the more
get a
expensive.
good copy if you
Yeah.
want it.
We will not advocate for you trying to spend the most money possible. If you're a hardcore fan of zombie comedies, buy this. If you're on the
Yes.
fence, get it cheap.
Yeah, we have no. I mean,
We won't recommend you bad films if we think you go within our genre.
There's a difference between. I will recommend bad films if they're subject. They're so bad, they're good.
Pew pew.
Oh God, no!
I kind of want to watch that
it's
now.
Pop.
Yeah, I want to watch that now.
I've got to find that.
But yeah, he's right. We all recommend a film that I think so bad it's good, but I will give you that warning. But so far on the videos we recommended, all of them I really enjoyed.
We've used what we've got at our disposal because it's stuff we've enjoyed. Yes, Monster Squad was just a DVD, but that's because I wanted to make sure I got all the special features that I knew were on the 2-disc DVD.
Yes.
I didn't know if the single disc Blu-ray carried everything over, despite being labeled as the same 20th anniversary edition. I didn't know if all the features had carried over. Yeah, stuff like that. I want to make sure if I'm going to buy a film and it's one I enjoyed from my childhood, I'm going to get either the edition I grew up with, or better, or one, like I said, or better. So if I'm able to find the copy I grew up with may have been a single disc, but I find out there's a 2 or 3 disc edition with all these goodies, I'm going to get it because that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, I would say splurge on the movies you know you're going to watch over and over, or they're your personal favorites. Like,
exactly.
I would say if Stranger Things ever comes out with a nice collection box,
which we're hoping,
or Wednesday, if they come out with like a 4K set, I kind of want to get that. But
okay, in the case of Wednesday, I think I'll hold off since we know we're getting to season 2.
Yes.
So maybe once we know the show's done.
I hope that didn't.
Unfortunately, with Jenna Ortega being the big name,
we were talking about that. But how much merchandise they're selling?
See, that's the issue. Is Jenna Ortega has become a well-known young actress.
21, almost 22, I believe. One of the best, my favorite actress. But yeah, she's an icon at this point.
So, and we do not want her typecast as Wednesday for the rest of her career.
As I said, if you guys want to see something with Jenna Ortega that's not typecasted, watch this. The Fallout. 2 girls survive a school shooting. It does not show the shooting. You only hear it. But it talks about what you go through with it. And I loved it because this is one Eddie and I need to watch together, and we actually need to post it to the channel. This is her best acting performance where it's not like gothic. It's actually a very good character.
I enjoyed her in Beetlejuice.
Oh my God, she was so good.
Because I was worried with it being her character being the daughter of Winona Ryder's character from the original. It's like, is it going to be too close to Wednesday? And you had seen the movie before I did.
Yes.
And you put my fears to rest.
I
appreciate that. You're like, no, she's different. She's not.
Based on the trailers and what I was like guessing, I kind of had the feeling that she was going to be different because they were going to change Winona Ryder's character a little bit.
Just a little bit, but I like how they didn't change it too much to where the first one didn't make sense.
Another couple of films Eddie and I are going to have to watch and review. Dune Part 2.
Nice Steelbook.
Glow in the Dark Steelbook. And then Dune Part 2, they didn't have the Steelbook, they just had the basic 4K. Plus digital code. There was no Blu-ray on this, actually. I didn't notice that till now.
I've seen the original they did.
Over an hour bonus features, though.
I have seen the original they did, but I've not seen the new film.
I will say these films, they're fun, but they can be a little bit slow.
So I've tried to read the first book. It was slow.
But anyways, guys, yeah, Ortega, my favorite actress, and The Fallout, I think is her best film acting-wise. Her most annoying character is X, although the Babysitter Killer Queen was great, too. She plays these really fun, quirky characters, but I'm with you. She does have range, but she hasn't really had a chance. Oh, by the way, since we're on Ortega news, she has a dream character she wants to play, and they just announced they're doing a movie with that character. She wants to play Joan of Arc.
Ooh.
And they've announced Joan of Arc. So if she was cast as Joan of Arc, I think she could play that character really well.
That would be a big turn away from Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'm with. It's not that she's a bad actress. I love her, but I would like to see her get some projects. The other one, Tommy Lee Jones and her were in a movie called Finest Kind. It's a fishing movie, and she is a different type of character in that too.
And I'm using Ortega as a reference because it's fairly new. But there are plenty of other movies like that where the actor or actresses get stuck doing these same type roles because that's what made them stars.
We're gonna have to do an Ortega watch sometime, or at least Wednesday. We are planning on watching Wednesday soon because we have a year for the next season. But Wednesday's one of those shows I could watch pretty much anytime. It's more fun during spooky season, of course, but
Yeah.
you can watch it anytime.
But yeah.
But we have to get going, guys. We have stuff to do.
I do have some stuff I gotta take care of.
We have people to do, things to see. I mean, things
to do, people to see.
That didn't come out right the first time.
But yeah, like I said, Shout Factory.
What's it called?
Smart ass. Obviously, we're a very small channel, but if any of you know anybody with the Shout Factory, if anything to do with the company at all, let them know. They did a fantastic job with these releases.
Oh, yeah.
As they've always done.
I love Shout Factory so far.
And I know no, we are not affiliated with anybody.
We have no sponsors, okay?
No sponsors. This is all us. But we love these releases like this. So they did a fantastic job with this. The artwork is beautiful. I mean, they could have just taken the basic artwork and slapped it on a steelbook.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the new artwork.
It is. Our sponsor is Oxygen, and if we talk about it too much, they're going to start charging us for it, so let's be quiet. Just take a breath. No, we don't have sponsors, but I like that we are a small channel because we are allowed to speak off the cuff, and even if we do get big, we might do more set builds and stuff like that, but I still don't see us ever...
Sponsor-wise, maybe mom pop shop, nothing huge.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind a big sponsor even, but we probably won't
Raid
change...
Shadow Legends?
Huh?
Raid Shadow Legends?
Something like that would be cool.
We sponsor everybody.
We don't need a bit. It would be cool for us to grow and get a sponsor, but I want to make sure that we're keeping the integrity of the channel, that we're talking, having fun, and we're not like selling out. You know?
Exactly.
So I'll always do research on sponsors before we accept them. But yeah, I would love to have a sponsor.
And I don't know, sponsors like got to be so many videos
and so many viewership and all that, which
because of our work schedules. Good luck with that.
Yeah, unless we get like a vacation where we literally just watch films, which would be fun, at least for a few days. Then we could go see Halloween stuff. Exactly. I would love for us to take a fall trip together. Anyways, guys, we need to get going. We hope you enjoyed our review of Return of the Living Dead. It was about 5% of this video, but
and no rants.
And our rants, we have ADOS. I'm sorry.
Attention deficit. Ooh, squirrel.
Where'd he go? Not my nuts. Ah!
But yes, wonderfully done release. For those of you that have gotten other Shout Factory releases.
What? Oh.
For those of you that do buy the Shout Factory releases or the limited edition, even the Arrow.
Wow.
Did you take an arrow to the knee?
Wow. No, he's right though. What he's saying.
These are great. These releases, they are done with care. They're not just thrown together.
Yeah, I love when they take their time and actually give you special features, good quality visual transfer.
I mean, even some of these, I know this one, it's got the old stuff, but it's also got some new stuff too.
I loved it.
Done for this release.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up, must watch every spooky season, or just July.
July
4th. All right, guys, that's the wrap.
Yep.
Take care.
Take care.
And remember,
Bye.
stay weird.
Bye.